My guidance counselor in high school actually recommended that I apply here. And when I came here on a visit, I saw some of the facilities and things that they have here at Hofstra. It was a big thing for me to see the fact that a lot of the technology that you're working with is the technology you're going to be working with when you go out into the field. The other big thing that made me choose Hofstra was the fact that the campus didn't seem overwhelming. You know, there's some campuses where you'll go and you'll just look up at some of the buildings like, oh my God, how am I ever going to figure out where my classes are and everything else. With Hofstra, it wasn't like that. With Hofstra, it was just comfortability that I felt once I stepped onto campus that I didn't necessarily feel with some of the other colleges. I chose broadcast journalism because I want to go into sports broadcasting eventually. Now, I've always been big into sports, and originally it was my dream to play in the NBA, but as I'm only 6'1" and not the most athletic kid in the world, that wasn't exactly going to work out, so I ended up instead going into and figuring out the fact that, you know, I really love talking about sports. I can memorize statistics and immediately spit them back out. So I figured, okay, that might be a road that I want to choose. I took a class called RTBF15, which is a survey of electronic media. And the class was interesting because we went into the history of all the different media outlets in terms of radio, newspapers, magazines, television, film. And not only did we go into the history of it like you will in some other classes, but we also took it to another level and tried to predict where these outlets would be in the coming years and how the rise of the internet and TV on the internet, video streaming on the internet would affect some of these mediums. So it was an interesting class just to try and get a little bit into that future type aspect of the media outlets, and the way that the professor incorporated some of the movies that we saw in class was pretty cool to me. The professors here at Hofstra are great because most of them have been in the field for a while, especially in communications. That's something that you don't necessarily find at other schools. Is a lot of professors at other schools may have just gotten their journalism degree like myself and then gone on to get their master's and their doctorate and have become professors. But most of the professors here at Hofstra have either been in the newspaper industry or been in the television industry. One of my professors, the one that actually taught the RTBF15 class, is a part of the Directors Guild in Hollywood, so he goes to all of those meetings. So he's big in the film industry, and that experience really helps you out as a student because they're bringing real-world know-how into the classroom. Currently, I am involved with WRHU, the student radio station here at Hofstra, 88.7 FM. I'm the assistant sports director currently at the station. I also do some intramurals here on campus. We've played flag football, me and some of my friends in the past, also basketball, and I'm also a pride guide here on campus. The long-term goal would be to end up back in Philadelphia doing play-by-play broadcasting for one of the 4 major Philadelphia sports teams. I do want to get immediately out of college into the play-by-play field in some aspect, whether it be for a AA baseball team somewhere in the middle of Wyoming, which I've always told my parents that I'll probably be somewhere out there, or as a minor league hockey broadcaster, whatever it is, I want to get directly into that field once I come out of Hofstra. The main thing that I think the experiences that I gained from the School of Communications and Hofstra will help me with is just the being ready to go out there and immediately be productive in the field. I spoke a little bit before about the fact that the technology that we use here is the most up-to-date technology in the field, and it absolutely is. I already have that little bit of advantage over my competition once I go out there into the field because I've already been training on these pieces of equipment for 4 years. My edge here at Hofstra is my broadcasting. That is the main thing that I'm always working on. And for me, I go into Dempster. I'm probably in Dempster for about 40 hours a week. I am the typical Dempster rat. It's a lot of fun for me to constantly be in there and working both behind the scenes and on air. That is a huge thing for me to be able to go out there and just broadcast and talk about sports, something that I love and am so passionate about.